What's up, everybody out there? Back with another video tonight. Thought I'd do another on a wrestling topic. This video is my early excuse me, voice is pretty sore, throat's pretty sore from yelling last night and cheering at NXT Live, NXT Milwaukee. So sorry my voice is sore, but I'm still gonna do this. This video is about my early WWE Hall of Fame picks, who I think should go into the Hall of Fame this year, who I want to see go into the 2016 WWE Hall of Fame. First, I had on my list Sting. I wanted Sting to really go into the Hall of Fame because the guy deserves it. He's had an epic, legendary career in not just the NWA and Jim Crockett Promotions, not just WCW, but he had a pretty good career in TNA also, and his WWE run was not that great, but it was still good to see him have a match at a WrestleMania, and it was good to see Sting wrestle Rollins at Night of Champions. But other than that, Sting's WWE career was pretty sad because he got injured. Obviously, everybody knows he got injured and suffered a neck injury or a spinal cord injury or whatever. He suffered it in his Rollins Night of Champions match against Rollins. So that sucked. But Sting is on my list. Very happy he's going into the 2016 Hall of Fame because he deserves it. And Sting is one of my all-time favorites. He's in my top 10 favorites, or top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. So Sting, you definitely deserve it. Congratulations, Stinger. Now I'm going to do my list that are guys that are not Sting, that I think should go in. Up first is, I doubt, excuse me, I really doubt she goes in this year, but she deserves to go in the Hall of Fame because she was part of the WWE for at least 8 or 9 years. I mean, she debuted with Randy Savage in 85 or something, 84 or something like that. Be quiet! Sorry, I had to yell at someone because in my house because they were yelling up the stairs. And that's annoying. They're yelling at, trying to get attention of my brother. Somebody that's visiting. Anyways, I apologize for that. I just had to yell at them because that shit was rude and annoying to yell when I'm doing one of my videos. I doubt she goes in, but she did debut in end of 84, I think, going into 80, or end of 85. I think the end of 1985, she debuted with her real-life husband, Randy Savage. I'm talking about Miss Elizabeth. She deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. She was a first original diva. She was the first lady of wrestling, the first lady of the WWE, or WWF at the time. She was the first lady of wrestling. At least the first manager in the WWE that was a woman that got super over. So Miss Elizabeth really deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. She was the first real diva. But I doubt WWE puts in Miss Elizabeth this year. I don't know, but I don't think her family is a fan of wrestling, and I don't think Miss Elizabeth's real-life family even wanted her in wrestling. So they're probably not a fan of wrestling at all, so they probably wouldn't even accept the Hall of Fame invitation. But still, Miss Elizabeth deserves to get put into the WWE Hall of Fame because she was part of the WWE in the 80s. And she was a big part of it. Miss Elizabeth was a big part of Randy Savage's success. I mean, a lot of guys worshipped Miss Elizabeth, and they looked at her and she was absolutely gorgeous back in the 80s and early 90s. She was a very, very pretty, gorgeous woman, in my opinion. But I'm just saying, a lot of guys were in love with Miss Elizabeth. A lot of guys probably had a crush on Miss Elizabeth. That's not why she deserves to go in. She deserves to go in the Hall of Fame because she was a great manager, and she was by the side of Randy Savage from 85 in the WWF, late 85 until 1992. She was with Randy Savage in the WWF. So she did her time in the business. She was a very great success. She had a great career in wrestling. She went to WCW. She managed Randy Savage, then turned on him, then joined Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen. That was pretty good for her career to turn heel, because she was never a heel in the WWF. So Miss Elizabeth was a heel in WCW. That was pretty good. Then she had to join she went back to Randy Savage in the fall of 96, and then she was acting like she wanted to get back together with Randy Savage, but then she played him and turned on him in the NWO, attacked Randy Savage, then she joined the NWO. And in the beginning, she didn't look like she wanted to be in the NWO, but she eventually stayed in, and she looked happy to be in the NWO. Then she went on to manage Lex Luger later on, and she would start dating Lex Luger sometime in the late 90s, and then sadly and tragically she died in Lex Luger's house. That was absolutely sickening and just tragic. Very, very tragic day for wrestling fans when Miss Elizabeth passed away, because she was loved by most anybody, by just about everybody. Miss Elizabeth was loved by. As a fan, I mean, fans loved Miss Elizabeth, and if you didn't, there was something wrong with you if you hated her. Up next, I think who should go in the Hall of Fame. Guy worked in the NWA in the 80s, came to the WWF in 1989, and was there a little bit in 1990, and then left. But this guy, I loved his matches with Ric Flair, always. His matches with Ric Flair were physical, they were epic. This guy deserves to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about rugged Ronnie Garvin, the man with the hands of stone. Ronnie Garvin deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. This guy, super heavyweight, big guy, big man, over 400 pounds, from the Rocky Mountains. I'm talking about former WCW World Champion Vader. He deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. One of the best big men ever in pro wrestling. Vader. If Vader doesn't get in this year, that's fucked up, because Vader deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Up next, one of my favorite tag teams from the 80s. And even 1990, they were still a team for a little bit. The original Demolition, Axe and Smash. I'm not going to include Crush, because I didn't like Crush and Demolition. I thought it was really stupid. And they really watered down Demolition when they made them a 3-man team. That was stupid as hell. But I guess Vince wanted to replace Axe with a younger guy, so he brought in Crush to put in Demolition, because he was having problems with Axe because they couldn't get along backstage, or get along with getting along, and giving Axe a new contract or whatever. Vince and Axe never really got along, except I think they did in the late 80s, but who knows. Anyways, Demolition, the team of Axe and Smash, only Demolition, they really deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Why? Because in the 80s, they were one of the longest reigning WWF tag team champions of all time. They held the tag titles for like I think 14 months or 18 months they were tag champs. For a very, very long time. They won the titles in March of 1988 at WrestleMania 4. And they didn't lose the titles until, I think, July. Let me look up something. July 18th or something. July 1989, they lost the tag titles. And they won them in March 88. So, Demolition 3-time tag champs. They deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame because of all. They gave it their all when they were Demolition in the WWF. They gave it their all to Vince. They were a great tag team. They deserve to get some respect. And they deserve to be put in the Hall of Fame, damn it. Up next, I don't like them. Not a fan of Michael Hayes. Never have been. Not a fan of his gimmick. Michael P.S. Hayes, wasn't a fan of him as a wrestler. The guy was a good talker. I will admit that. He was one of the first to come to the ring to rock and roll music, to rock music. He was one of the first to come out to rock music. So I guess he came up with that. But who knows if he was the first to ever come out to music, to the ring. Anyways, Michael Hayes, not a fan of him. Professionally or personally, not a fan of him. Think the guy's a racist and a stupid fucking racist. I don't know how he does a job in the WWE. Just because the guy's a great mind for wrestling doesn't mean he should still be employed by WWE. But whatever. I'm not the boss, but if I was, Michael Hayes would not have a job. Anyways, it's not just Michael Hayes. The Freebirds deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm talking about Terry Gordy and Buddy Roberts. And they should also put in Jimmy Garvin also. He was part of the Freebirds, so they should put him in too. Freebirds deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Even though I hate Michael Hayes, I'm not a fan of his. Never have been. Up next, this guy should definitely go in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. He's been in the business for close to 30 years. I think he started in 86. I think he started in 86 as a manager, or maybe 87 as a manager. Anyways, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Paul Heyman. The guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for just being a manager. And he also deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for running ECW, because he ran ECW great. And he did a great job with talent in ECW and got the best out of the ECW talent. So Paul Heyman deserves to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. I hope they put him in this year because he deserves it. Up next, who I think should go in, are two former WWE divas. And they both left to go to TNA when they, around 2010 and 11, they left to go to TNA. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about either one of these two should get put in the Hall of Fame this year. I'm talking about Victoria. If she doesn't get put in, then WWE should put in Mickie James. They both deserve to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, in my opinion. They're both great divas. They both had great runs in the WWE when they were champion. Victoria as a heel was great when she was feuding with Trish in 2002, 2003. Mickie James came in as a psycho-obsessed fan of Trish. She was awesome as a heel. And she was a great women's champion also. So either Victoria or Mickie James, I hope WWE puts them in the Hall of Fame. Last pick to go in the Hall of Fame. I think this guy's already in with his brother, Dory Funk Jr., but I think he should be in the Hall of Fame by himself. He should be in twice. Like Ric Flair is a 2-time Hall of Famer for being in the Horsemen and for his singles career. This guy should be in the Hall of Fame for his singles career. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Terry Funk. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame alone. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame and be a two-time Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Because in the 1970s, I think it was 1970, or one of those, in the 70s, Terry Funk was an NWA World Champion. And then fast forward to 1990s, and in the 90s, Terry Funk won the ECW World Championship. So the guy in the 70s was an NWA champion. Fast forward to the 90s, then the guy was an ECW heavyweight champion. That's why he deserves to go in. And also because the guy is a hardcore legend. The guy's a legend in Japan, competing in exploding ring matches, but so many barbed wire matches. I mean, Terry Funk probably has a record for competing in the most barbed wire matches I've ever seen. The guy competed in barbed wire matches in ECW, even in the Indies in 2003 and 2004. He competed in barbed wire matches in Major League Wrestling. As I said, he competed in hardcore death matches in Japan with Mick Foley in the IWA. So Terry Funk, in my opinion, he deserves to go in the Hall of Fame as a two-time Hall of Famer. He was that damn good. This ends my Hall of Fame picks, my early WWE Hall of Fame picks for 2016. I hope all these guys go in, and I hope Victoria and Mickie James go in, or if either Victoria or Mickie, either one of them, if they pick them to go in, they will be a great pick to go into the Hall of Fame. Also, I hope Miss Elizabeth goes in, and Vader, and Ron Garvin, and Demolition, and Sting is already going in. Paul Heyman should go in. Terry Funk should go in. The Freebird should go in, even though I really dislike Michael Hayes. Also, this guy should go in. I almost forgot to mention the super heavyweight great big man, the one-man gang. He should go in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed my early Hall of Fame picks show for 2016. These are all my Hall of Fame picks that I want to see get in the Hall of Fame. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at TNAWWE Guy. And follow me at NXT WWE Guy. Bye for now, everybody.